Right.
Savages.
No, at one point I was at CNN waiting for to go on, and these two young women kept looking at me. This is like 10 years ago, so I plausibly could say to myself, well, maybe I still got it, right? Like, who knew, right? And then one of them noticed that I had noticed them looking at me, and she goes, oh, excuse me, sir, we can't believe that you have a flip phone. So I was like, well, that's the end of an era.
10 years ago?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
10 years ago, there's a few people out there that were hanging out. My friend Ari still had a flip phone 10 years ago. Yeah. The only people I know now are you and David Tell. So you're in good company.
Yeah, that's right. It's cool. I'm telling you, it's cool. It's coming back. It's the next big thing.
Well, I know a lot of people, they switch to what's called, I think it's called a simple phone. Is that what it's called, Jamie? What is that thing called? What's that? No, the little the one that's, it just gives you nothing but like text message. I think you can get music on it too. I think it's called a simple phone. It's like you ever do you read on a tablet? Like one of those Kindles.
I don't.
Well, the great thing about those is they have this white paper looking interface,
Right.
So it doesn't look like a screen. It looks like paper.
Right. Yeah.
That's what this little phone looks like,
right.
and it's the same sort of. That's what it is. Light phone. Yeah, that thing. So it has basically the same thing as your phone, except you could text like a normal human, and it'll play music and has notes. And
it gives you directions, right?
Yeah.
That's not bad. I mean, what I don't want is to get sucked into the algorithms of social media and all that garbage. Like,
you don't want to get into the algorithms on men. No. You don't want.
No.
I have seen more people fall off buildings, get hit by cars, get shot, get stabbed,
and just not participate in their life, right?
Yeah.
Even if nothing bad happens, you're still. I mean, listen, man. I have young children. I have a 7-year-old girl and a 4-year-old girl, and we're at the playground. And I swear there are kids who fall, and I got to go. Kids I don't know. I got to go over and like dust them off and comfort them because the mom or dad doesn't even know because they're on their phone.
Yeah.
Right. That's not parenting. I mean, like, what do you do? What do you
Especially
have kids for?
playgrounds, man. Playgrounds are still a little sketchy. My daughter, when she was 6, she broke her arm at school on a playground.
Really?
Actually, she was a little older than 6. She might have been 8. But yeah, it's playgrounds are fucking scary, man.
Yeah.
You're swinging around and you're playing, and kids fall the wrong way, and
we're on the Lower East Side in New York City, so it's sketchy in some other ways too. Like you got to be awake, right? You got to be alert and just like, and not only that, but you had kids. Like, what do you do? Like, just enjoy this while you can, right?
Is a TikTok video more interesting than
exactly
the human that you made?
Yeah, exactly.
You guys made humans.
Yeah.
They're I mean, it still freaks me out to this day, even when they're mad at me. I'm like, I just can't believe you
I
made you.
I made you, and now you're mad at me. Like, well, how does that work? Like, yeah. Right.
I have all girls, so they're mad at you for stuff like doesn't even make sense. Like, you're like, okay.
How old are they?
The youngest right now is 14.
Oh, wow. So I got 7 and 4. So, right. So that thing's coming. Okay, got it.
Yeah. I got a 14 and a 16, and then a grown one. I got a 27-year-old.
Because I've had girlfriends that were mad at me for things that I didn't think made sense. And I was like, okay, well, that's all right. That's because you're crazy and, whatever. But actually, like, that might be in my future.
Yeah, they're just different. It's just women and girls are just different. And me, I think the universe did me a solid by giving me only daughters.
Yeah, me too.
Because you have a different perspective. Yeah. Like, if I had a son, I'd be like, I got to keep this fucking savage out of jail. I gotta, because I'm passing my genes. That kid's got to go to the gym. I mean, I gotta get you into a jiu-jitsu gym early. Yeah. Like, you got to start doing challenging things early, and then also you have to deal with the fact that you have a successful father, and that puts a lot of pressure on a kid because they, a lot of kids they try to measure up to their parents or compete with their fathers in some sort of a strange way. So you have to mitigate that in advance and tell them that you're there for them, you're on their side. It's like.
Yeah.
There's a lot with kids, but with girls, they're so different, man. Yeah. I don't think I understood until I raised children. I just didn't understand how different they are.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. And I have 2 girls. I'm thrilled. I mean, it's the best thing that ever happened to me in my life. that and meeting my wife. Like that, just incredible. And partly because they're girls and not boys. I have nothing to learn from boys. I already know what that's about. I am one, right? And but girls is just like it's amazing. It just and it wakes up some part of you that was dormant and you didn't know was there. And it's just like it's an amazing feeling.
Dave Chappelle said to me once that not only did it change the amount of love I have, but it changed my capacity for love.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's a great way to put it. It's just a completely different experience. And I have friends that are just avowed bachelors. I'm never getting married. I'm never having kids. Fuck that. And I'm like, I get it. I know if you've had a bunch of bad relationships, you have a bunch of people that are annoying and there's constant drama and dilemmas and all these different things. But man, you're missing out on a different phase of life, a different experience of life. That's just, it's so humbling.
But you got to meet the right person, right? I mean, if you're not with the right person, I imagine being on top of that, that's hard enough just on its own. On top of that, parenting with the wrong person must be a freaking nightmare.
Yeah, you've got fucking going to dinner with the wrong person's a nightmare.
A nightmare.
just dealing with nonsense.
Yeah.
Especially if you're not the type of person that handles nonsense so well.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, ugh.
Well, what I do, for a variety of family reasons, I flatline. Like if someone's coming at me with something that doesn't make sense and they're really upset, I just sort of emotionally flatline. I get super rational and just 0 Kelvin, like nothing, right? And which is a kind of a good place to be because it's not escalatory.
Yeah.
But I've come to find out that's also exceedingly provocative to do to someone who's upset.
Oh, so they try to like get a response out of you.
Yeah, and they think that your non-response means you don't care.
Ooh, that's a problem.
And then you're just so screwed.
That's also a problem with emotional manipulation, where you realize that this escalation of emotions is really just to incite a reaction. It's not the real feelings.
Right. That's right. That's
which is why it's so exaggerated.
And I think I'm doing the relationship a favor by, I was like, somebody's got to stay sane in this room, right? Right? Or it's going to, the cops are getting, whatever. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to flatline. The only way to do this, because you're making me really angry right now, is to flatline and feel nothing. Yeah. I'm going to do us a favor by doing that. I'll be super rational and calm and blah, blah, blah. But I didn't realize, like, that's completely inflammatory also in a different way. So there really isn't a good choice until that person figures out how to emotionally regulate.